Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. I'm trying to free your mind.
Russia plans to block VPN services in 2024. Russia's communications watchdog plans to block virtual private networks from March 1st next year, a Russian senator from the ruling United Russia Party said. Now, in layman's terms, if you don't know what a VPN is, it's simply a piece of software that masks the IP address of a computer. So it says demand for VPN services soared after Russia restricted access to some Western social media after President Vladimir Putin ordered troops into Ukraine until February 2022, says Senator Artem Sheikin said an order from the Roskomnadzor watchdog could come into force on March 1st, which would block VPNs. From March 1st, 2024, an order will come to force to block VPN services providing access to sites banned in Russia. Sheikin was quoted as saying by state news agency RIA, says phone calls to the number listed by Roskomnadzor as its press service were answered by a voice message with the Bobby McFerrin song Don't Worry Be Happy. An email request for comment got no immediate reply. Sheikin said that it was particularly important to block access to Meta platforms, which owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And Sheikin says, I would like to note that this is especially important to restrict citizens' access to the products of Meta, which is recognized as an extremist organization. He stressed that this order also applies to those VPN services that give access in particular to Instagram, which is banned in Russia. Now, if you're not familiar, Russia has blocked Facebook and Twitter for about a year now. So this is nothing new, but people have still been accessing the services through VPNs. So this is just the latest attempt. Russia really feels like a lot of the propaganda they feel is coming from the Western side of culture. So they feel like VPNs will help circumvent that from happening. And from people accessing social media, they seem to be really more concerned about social media, but there are multiple different ways people can access news and information, but they seem to be focused on Facebook and Twitter. They think that's where the majority of the propaganda comes from. But I also like to see stuff like this. Not like to, but I like to look at this type of stuff and how it relates to the U.S. And since I'm based in the U.S. here, Russia has state government agencies blocking these VPNs, but I can imagine if something like this were to happen in the U.S., they probably wouldn't need government laws or interference to do this. They could probably just make a phone call to big tech and say, hey, look, somebody's using a VPN. We want you to just really restrict their access and usage to our platforms. I can imagine like how long it would take for some of these companies to comply, like Meta and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I can imagine like how soon they, Elon or Zuckerberg gets that phone call and they say, look, anybody with MAGA 2024 in their bio using a VPN, we want you to make sure you set their accounts to private or make sure that they're ultra shadow banned. I can only imagine how soon that type of restrictions would come from the U.S. And I don't think they're going to need a law to do it. I honestly think that they could just compel other companies, sanction them with fines and things like that. Maybe that's what Russia is going to do, but it's real interesting to see how that unfolds. But again, this Cyber News article just explaining how Russia plans to block VPN services in 2024. It looks like it's right around the corner in March. If you're watching this on Odyssey, Rumble, or YouTube, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this gonna work? Do you think it's going to really curtail how people get their news? How soon do you think this type of restrictions could come to U.S. government if it isn't here already? Let me know. Again, thank you for watching, and I will talk to y'all next time. Take care.